welcome to the England B Team podcast, a football podcast brought to you by an Englishman who wasn't good enough to make it as a professional footballer.
And an Irishman who wasn't good enough to play for England.
Yes, we're
back.
My name's Joe and this is my co-host Gareth, and we're here to talk about all things football once again.
I'm so impressed we remembered that.
Yeah.
First take, genuine first take there, by the way. Yeah.
Season 2, we're back.
And do you know what else would be exciting? So they got that in first take. They'll have seen our lovely new intro video.
True.
And got our, we're not doing new intro music, but we've got a lovely new logo and rebrand, which we've barely seen yet, but we've seen it a bit. But by the time this podcast goes out, we'll have the finished product looking at. Yeah. I mean, I've got the finished product. It's on my laptop. So on that quickly, I do want to say thank you. Yeah, I do want to say thank you to the guy that did it. It's a friend of mine, Gareth Gra. You can find his Instagram page, Gareth Gra, G-R-A for Gra, or ggra.me. You can get his portfolio in there.
YouTube.
Put it in the bio,
as well,
We'll ask the editing team to put it in the bio for us. We'll get on to them. So he's responsible for a gorgeous new logo, that lovely animation at the start as well, and you'll probably see a few of those things, a few more of his things popping up over our socials and stuff like that, and hopefully some merch at some point. Now that we've got a really sexy logo, I think it's time to get some merch.
We've got some things in the pipeline, let's say.
The old logo was alright, but like I did it, so it's a wee bit rough. So now we've got a pro in.
So what is it? New year, change it up.
New year, new us.
Exactly.
New year, new podcast. Who
New Year's
dis?
resolutions and all of that.
So yeah,
happy to be back.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while.
Man, it has. Yeah. A lot of football going on at the minute as well.
Yep.
I feel like it suited well because we had our German Bundesliga pause anyway.
Yeah.
So we took a bit of a break, and then we were back to watching the Bundesliga last Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this podcast will go out. It doesn't matter, but we just watched.
It was the first Leverkusen home game after the New Year.
Against Gladbach.
Yeah.
Not the best result, but not a disastrous either.
It was a dominant performance, but no goal.
Yeah,
no goal.
No,
but it's good to be back.
Yeah,
anyway.
Football's back, and we're away this weekend to Fortuna Cologne, and just football's back. So we get a couple of podcasts.
And Chelsea are hitting some form, so
yeah, well,
we're up to 8th now, I think.
I know. Actually, to be fair, when you look at the league position and where we are in comparison to like Newcastle or Brighton, we're doing all right. The cup final, I'm dreading.
Yeah.
I hate cup finals against Liverpool.
Yeah,
I fucking hate them. We cannot do
flop news, but
yeah, well,
we pumped up. But
we'll comment on Chelsea another time because today. So we're sort of thinking of different ideas for the podcast, what topics to cover. I have a note in my phone that is like 300 word, man. Every time I have a few drinks in me, I'm putting something else in. But this is one of those ones that came. This is a very pub conversation. I think we've had this conversation a few times.
Yeah. This is definitely something close to your heart, no?
I think both of our hearts at this point. Like, we live in Germany, so you get to know a lot about German football. But the more you go into German football, there's one common theme with every era, every team, every national team is an insane German goalkeeper.
They say you don't have to be mad to be a goalkeeper, but it helps.
Yeah, well, fuck. That's great. I have a very different quote. Do you know what my quote is for the top of this episode?
What is it?
It's from the singer Björk. You know the Icelandic singer Björk?
Yeah.
You might know of her.
The woman?
Yeah.
She has a song with Rosalia.
That's right, yeah. Björk's been going for ages. Amazing musician. She said, football is a fertility festival. 11 sperm trying to get into the egg. I feel sorry for the goalkeeper. I don't entirely know what that means, to be honest. But in any case, that's it. So it is that cliche, man, of goalkeepers being insane now. It's kind of the chicken and the egg. Are goalkeepers insane because the job's insane, or do you have to be insane to be a goalkeeper? Okay. They are a little bit unhinged. Now, I've got a few reasons why I think it is.
So obviously Gareth's going to go into his theory before we give you some examples.
But there's plenty of examples. It was narrowing it down. We weren't looking for examples, we had to cull a few out.
Of course.
Reasons why goalkeepers are mad. Okay, first of all, I don't think it's appreciated enough how awful it is to stand in goal and just get kicked in the head. Like, get the ball hit against you the whole game. Like, that's your job, is to get hit by the ball. That that hurts.
And dive around. And
man, nothing about it doesn't hurt. No. There's no part of the job that doesn't hurt. Apart from the goal kicks, that's it. It's an awful job. Like, you remember the old miter? You guys get miter balls in England?
Yeah.
With the dimples on them? Man, you remember how much they hurt?
Yeah, but they were solid.
Imagine taking them to
I quite enjoyed going in goal, though.
Did you?
But obviously, not at a professional level when you've got someone like Adriano or Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank belting the ball at you.
Adriano or Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
100 kilometres an hour.
That's the first time I've heard those two put together. How dare he take Adriano's name in vain? Anyway, it's a tough job in that sense. Yeah, I wouldn't fancy it. And you think of like the 4 lines of football. So defence, midfield, attack, goalkeeper. It is an important one, and it's the only one where you're on your own. So you're responsible for so much.
The last line of defence.
Yeah.
Like the fullback in rugby.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Even in rugby, I feel like a fullback gets a little bit more away with it. You can still cover with them. Because you can put people into that line.
Because also the fullback, like, I don't play rugby, but I guess there's less pressure on him because he's the last line of defence of a huge pitch, whereas the goalkeeper has a small goal.
Yeah.
So there's like less chance of a striker scoring. So he should be saving it or something.
Exactly.
Like
Plus, if you're a rugby fullback, you're part of a line. You can drop players into that line.
Yeah.
You can't stick two other players in goal, unfortunately. Yeah, I just made a note about this.
See what tactical innovation it can't be one day. But
no, we don't need more goalkeepers. For the love of all that is good and holy. Yeah, I've got a note here about Steve Agrusevic's nose. Have you ever Googled that? You know Steve Agrusevic, the goalkeeper?
From Coventry.
Yeah. His nose is mangled, man, because he's been hit so many times in the head with the ball.
This out afterwards. Yeah. You need to add a picture.
We will. Yeah, we'll get that in the clip. Our editing team can do that. And yeah, diving. We talked about it. It actually is insane when you think about it. I hated doing it as a kid when I played in goal. The idea of having to dive, it hurt.
Yeah,
man, it was sore. Like you think about it, you're just jumping all over the place, and even if you do a nice one, commentators will always go to that old thing of like, oh, it's for the cameras.
Yeah.
Never get appreciated.
Ramsdale does it a lot. He does the camera save.
But is that a thing? Is it just not just a good goalkeeper?
I don't know. I think you have to be a goalkeeper to really understand it.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd be diving around for no reason. They wouldn't jeopardize themselves just to dive around.
No. Well, being a bit mad does help.
True.
Yeah. So I said next as well. You know, mistakes look awful. Mistakes look awful if you're a goalkeeper. If you fuck up as a goalkeeper, it looks terrible. It looks so clumsy and falling apart. The camera goes in on you, your head's down. In general, it's a very solitary thing.
We have to talk about like Karius in that example in the
oh man, it break your heart.
The Champions League final
genuinely felt sorry. It killed his career.
Yeah.
Like that's how fickle it could be. And you think of even all the England goalkeepers over the years.
Yeah.
Paul Robinson's had a few gaffes. David James is prone to the odd one.
Yeah. Rob Green.
Joe Hart, Rob Green against America. Oh man.
So Touchwood, Pickford still flying the flag strong and not.
Yeah, we'll see how he gets on.
But
it looks bad.
Yep, I get you.
And then goalkeepers, if you're not the first choice goalkeeper, that's it. You don't play all year. You play. You get your token game as a reward for being patient, but you don't do anything.
Actually, a really interesting point. So, I don't know if you watch ESPN FC. It's a football show. Obviously, it's based in America, but they have a lot of good pundits on there.
I know of them, yeah.
Shaka Hislop's a pundit on there. And they do like a extra time thing when they get questions sent in. And someone asked him, what's it like to be a goalkeeper in a match when your team's dominating?
Yeah.
And he said he just spend the whole game running up and down. And by the end of the game, he ran further than his teammates.
What do? You just stand there.
Yeah.
We used to have a kid in goal who used to make sandcastles when we played school because we used to have because there was always sand, like shitty football pitches. You know the way right on the balance, but it was always sand. No, you have that thing, didn't know? No. Like really old football pitches where you play like BB football. It was always like sand right at the goal mouth. And he just sat down, put his legs out in front of him, straight out, and just built a sandcastle.
Was he a good goalkeeper?
We won most of our games 14-0.
Okay. Oh, yeah, true. You scored.
Yeah. I scored one goal. Yeah, I've told that story. But yeah, that's the other thing when you're saying about the goalkeeper not being part of that, like the overall gameplay, if you're dominating. See when they score, like when your team scores, your goalkeeper is the only lad that has to celebrate on his own.
Yeah.
But he's not going to run up the entire pitch.
Alisson did it once.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I can't remember which game it was. When Salah scored, I think against United, maybe. I think it was Alisson ran up the pitch, but you don't see it often. Did
he get any stick for it?
I don't think so.
Okay, but it's a long run to go up and celebrate with your mates, So it's solitary, which isn't going to help your mental state either. And then so I think it does lead to a different psychology when you're a goalkeeper. All these weird things going on, man. It's just
you have a completely different training program as well to everyone else.
Yeah,
like
you're not with the other lads. You got your own coaches. You got your own thing. You're on your own.
I mean, there's like what do people say? The goalkeepers union. Like they're all super close. They always defend each other.
Yeah, even
you get it because
that
lifted it own a lot of the time. Yeah,
it's weird. Yeah,
GK Union.
Yeah, what did I get here? Sorry, this is very good research in England B Team podcast, but it was an article a thesis called "The Psychological Competencies of the Football Goalkeeper" from a coach of Porto. He said the goalkeeper must understand that the fact that he has to intervene must not generate fear in himself or in his own team. He must see his own interventions as part of the development of the game and even look forward to them in order to challenge himself. So basically, that means the goalkeeper has to have that total mental switch. He has to be constantly taking the initiative. Yeah. You can't wait. You can't react to the other team. You have to think, this is my
Proactive.
goal. I own this. No matter what happens, I'm in charge. And I think mentally as well, that takes a lot of mental strength.
Of course.
I think goalkeeping, a lot of it is mental. You have to be so switched on when you're doing nothing for a long part. And I think that also leads to a lot of goalkeepers being very confident, but also having less regard for the opponents, first of all, and potentially their own teammates as well. They're kind of on their own still. I think that all feeds into it.
Goalkeepers coming out and clattering everyone.
Yeah. And you think, how did you do that? And you think, well, his mental state for the last 25 minutes hasn't been great. Okay, he's been standing in goal, ready to pounce for 25 minutes. His team the other team haven't touched the ball.
Yeah.
And then that's it. All that just came out. So I think all that solitude combined has these strange psychological effects. Now, mad goalkeepers, we get them everywhere. We all know that. But there is one country that does excel at it, and that is definitely Germany.
Yes.
German goalkeepers are insane.
A country we're fortunate to live in.
Yeah. So I feel like we can comment on this.
Of course. I mean, I guess on that topic, as well as having mad goalkeepers, Germany has also some of the best goalkeepers.
And usually they're
Whereas
both, yeah.
England have always struggled to find a good goalkeeper. Was it in the last 20 years they went from Kahn to Lehmann to Adler to Neuer to Stegen.
Man, the list goes on. Yeah,
like, it's
suppose
crazy.
England. You think England need a mad goalkeeper then?
Yeah.
I think Jordan Pickford's too sane.
He's a bit.
England's
He's a bit of a character, but he's not like mad. I think he's just a bit of a lad.
Yeah.
He's not like mad. Like Paul Robinson, fine.
Quite enough.
I don't think he was that mad.
No.
Rob Green, definitely not.
Do you know he might have been a little bit David Seaman, but he was good.
David James changed his hair a lot. I think that's just him having a good time.
Yeah, David James is a little bit odd.
Yeah, I can't remember. Nigel Martin sounds like the most boring person in the world.
He sounds like a solicitor. Nigel Martin. I forgot about him.
Yeah, I can't think of any mad English goalkeepers, but yeah, Germany.
Not many good ones either for that reason.
No, it's also true. Maybe it goes hand in hand.
Was Peter Shilton mad, or was he? I don't know.
He's a lunatic. He's a Brexit lunatic.
Great.
So yeah, he lost his mind. But
we don't talk about politics often in this, but I think at this point it's pretty clear we're not in support of Brexit.
No, obviously.
That one we'll get. The UK government come after me if they want. So yeah, well, England need maybe a little bit more madness in it. Yeah. But Germany definitely has it. And I think it's a mixture of that. There's a couple of things. It's the main sport here. By far the biggest sport. England, you obviously have cricket, you have rugby, you have
lots
even
of things.
Darts as well, and all those kind of. Germany, it's massively football. I think the second biggest sport officially it's actually the biathlon in terms of people that watch it. But you know the biathlon I'm talking about, the winter biathlon, the one where half of it is skiing, and then the second half they take off a rifle. Like an automatic rifle.
I've only just heard of this.
You can Google it. I'm 90% sure that's the second most popular sport in Germany. It's the biathlon, but the German biathlon, the winter biathlon. I think it's bigger than handball in terms of attendance. Biathlon, BI.
Okay.
That's the accent. But yeah, so first of all, football is massive here. Not like anywhere else. Yeah, that's it there. It's mad.
Okay.
So yeah, they've got that, and German culture, I genuinely think, plays a little bit of a part in this. I think German football culture especially leads into this, because we go to German football matches, we've been to lower division matches. Supporting German matches is insane.
Yeah, it's everything.
Like even lower league.
Yeah.
Like what lower league games have we been to?
I've been to Victoria Cologne, and I've been to Fortuna.
Oh, we went to Fortuna twice in Münster, didn't we? The green team? Or was it Wuppertal?
I think so, yeah. But yeah,
I saw the support they brought.
Fans go for it.
Fourth division, like they're bringing huge and ultras and flares and pyros,
fireworks as well.
Yeah. Do you remember the game against Wuppertal where they all started dangling their keys?
Yes.
Because apparently Wuppertal had like a homeless problem at the time, so all the Fortuna Cologne fans had dangled their keys.
An insight of
that's fourth division.
I mean,
German
it's great
football.
fan culture, and
it is.
I mean, there's also a lot of respect.
Oh, hugely,
Of course, but then, maybe it's kind of where the goalkeepers come from.
Because I think, like, Germans are so... You know what German society is like? There's a lot of rules, a lot of regulations, a lot of respect for community, etc., etc. I think football matches are one of the places where it comes out.
Outlet,
And it's the only sport. It's the only big sport, so it all comes out in football.
I mean, but I think you also have to be mad to do the biathlon, maybe?
And
also, then in handball, you also have goalkeepers. So
true.
It's just the...
I think, the goalkeeper thing is one part of it, and then the German part feeds into it. And that's why German goalkeepers, I think, from my opinion, are slightly madder than the rest. Maybe not including certain parts of South America, but then you have the same issue. You know, certain parts of South America, the football is massive. Yeah. It's a massive outlet for them. And then you have to remember, as a goalkeeper, for half the match at least, you could be standing in front of the away fans on your own, just getting abused out of that, the whole game. And those fans are mad. So you think you put all that together and you get the crazy German goalkeeper. Now, examples. Do you want to take? How many have you got? Have you got some prepared?
I have I have one main one because I think
I want to hear this one actually because it's a great one.
Let's start with my one. So
please, yeah.
I don't think it's mad in the conventional sense, but I want to talk about Bert Trautmann.
This is a great story.
Yeah, I think a lot of you listeners might already know this story.
I didn't know
about
this until
goalkeeper German goalkeeper in the 50s. He fought in World War II and then eventually was captured by the Allies. And I don't know if he was captured in England, but he was working in a camp in England after World War II. I think near Liverpool. And then there's also a film adaptation of this story as well.
Like a modern film or?
Yeah, it's fairly modern, in the last 10 years or so.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, okay.
I think so. And yeah, like he was playing football in this prisoner of war camp as a goalkeeper. And everyone was like, shit, this guy's good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think there's like a greengrocer or something in the area of St. Helens in Liverpool. Oh, wow. He also is a manager of a football team. And he saw him and was like, okay, I want you to come train with us.
Okay.
Of course, huge opposition to this because he was fighting in World War II on the other side. We won't say any names in the political cancellation.
But, we can't say that word because the algorithm will get us.
Yes, but of course, I think you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, they signed him and he stayed there. Of course, lots of protests, but he turned out to be an amazing goalkeeper and eventually signed by Man City. Again, shitloads of protests. Like, we're not going to they started boycotting matches. Yeah. Until they realise he's a very good goalkeeper as well. But I think the mad part comes in. So it was the FA Cup final in 1956.
This is wild.
I think 17 minutes in, he goes to collect the ball in the air and he gets kneed in the neck. And yeah, I think his neck was a bit out of place, but he kept playing. He played the whole 90 minutes. Of course, there was no subs back then.
Yeah, true.
So it would have been playing a goalkeeper. Or,
one of the lads would have to win that.
Played the whole 90 minutes with a crooked neck. Won the game actually, and they found out after the game that his neck was broken.
That's insane.
I think only a German goalkeeper could do that. So
that's insane. To play an entire game with a broken neck.
And I think he said he broke like 3 vertebrae, came out of place. And he only didn't lose his life because one was kind of keeping a very vital one in place. Crazy story.
That's the thing, you'd be lucky not to die. Yeah, that's insane.
And then he was obviously out for some time and he came back and played again. I'm not sure if Man City was his last club. But this was in the 50s. So
that's a great example of a man.
Never played for Germany because I think because of political reasons you had to be in the country to play for Germany. Oh yeah. Obviously it would have been West Germany at the time.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it's a crazy story.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a good way to introduce some examples.
Even I didn't know that one. You told me that on Saturday night, I think, for the first time we were in the pub, and I was like, oh man, that's a belter. That's a really good one. It's a good way to start it because it's all downhill from here.
Yes, let's see what else you've got for us.
Well, first one I'm going to go to, the one that came into my head straight away is Jens Lehmann.
Okay.
Now, Lehmann, go ahead, what are you going to say?
Controversial character.
Well, we're not going to mention it too much, but we should talk about the slight scandal that's going on around them politically at the minute.
Now as well?
Well, recently.
Okay. I saw 2 other things in the last 10 years as well.
Yeah, I'm talking that kind of time.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think a lot of people in the English speaking world are aware of it.
Okay.
But
yeah, I don't think so.
Homophobia, racism, a couple of things. I think the racism one, I should have researched this, but it wasn't in a message he had sent into a group chat with other
of a pundit.
Yeah,
Dennis
that's it.
Iogo.
Yes,
played for Hamburg.
That's right. Yeah, that's it.
And
yeah. So that wasn't great.
No.
So we're not. When I talk about crazy German goalkeepers, we're not bringing those kind of stories into it.
No,
that's separate.
But of course we have to. We have to acknowledge it. Yeah, because it's not good.
Because I don't want you guys thinking, oh, crazy, it's funny that he's homophobic. It's not.
No,
we don't. Yeah, we're not into that at all. But put all that aside, there was some very funny, crazy things he did. I've got such a list here, so I'm going to just fire through a lot of them. The most recent one, by the way, is probably my favourite, which a lot of people outside of Germany don't know. This is happening now. The last update to this was like a week ago. So his neighbour, who's 91 years old, Jens Lehmann, was complaining that his tree from his neighbour's garden, growing in his neighbour's garden, grew over the fence and blocked Lehmann's view of a river out his back window. Now, instead of going and asking his neighbour, could he potentially consider removing the tree or moving it, he went out with his own chainsaw and just chopped the tree down.
The whole tree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Took the whole tree down. Just went in, took the whole tree down. Then what happened was they've had a whole scandal about it, a whole feud. Police were called. The media have been out. You can see this old fella getting interviewed. It's brilliant. And then last week, the latest scandal is the own guy's internet is out. So he called someone out to have a look at it, and the actual wire that goes underneath the house has been cut very cleanly. So someone has went out with scissors, and he swear. Now I have to say, he accuses Lehmann of doing it. There's been no proof yet that Jens did it, so I don't want to get sued for libel by Jens Lehmann in this podcast. I can't remember.
Where's he from? Where he's from?
You have to Google that one.
Yeah, sorry.
I think he's Stuttgart direction, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, he played for Stuttgart, didn't he?
Yeah, because he lived in a wee village down there for a long time. So yeah, that's the latest one. Oh, was he Essen? Yeah. Did he play for Road 5 Essen?
No, started
at
Schalke. AC Milan.
Yeah, it wasn't great at Milan.
So he went back to Arsenal in 2011.
One game. I didn't even remember he went back to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Was he a coach or something as well? Like Arsenal, like part coach, part player?
6 years after he retired. Yeah. Scored 2 goals for Schalke.
Yeah.
Sorry, I haven't spoiled your story then.
No, you didn't know. Okay. There's no story here. We're just going to continue going through them.
These examples.
Ones I didn't know. Romanian champions Orciceni. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Okay.
I think this might have been when he played for Milan, actually. He pissed behind an advertising board during a Champions League game. He went and jumped over behind the board and whizzed all over it. There's a video of that. So if you want to enjoy that. I didn't know that one.
During the match?
Yeah, during the match. Yeah, he once, in his first period for Schalke, conceded 3 goals against Bayer Leverkusen of all people, and got subbed off at the first half. He was that bad, and at half time he was so angry he took the tram home. Didn't wait for his teammates, just went and took the tram home on his own because he played so shite. Later on with Schalke, he got a red card for pulling Timo Lange's hair when they lost against Hansa Rostock.
Okay.
Then we're moving up to the Arsenal era against Bayern Munich in 2005. Lehmann was found guilty of a deliberate pestering act that displayed a striking lack of respect towards the referee when he threw water over the referee and assistant not once but twice.
Wow.
Man, he's so good. There was another game when he was back in Germany where Salihamidzic lost a boot during the game. So his boot came off and he couldn't find it. Lehmann found it and threw it on top of the net so he couldn't reach it to get it down. He used to commute to Stuttgart training when he went to Stuttgart. I think he was at Stuttgart at the end as well. Did he go back to Stuttgart? I have to look that up. But he lived in this tiny little village near the training ground, and he commuted in his own helicopter. So he set up a helipad in his own garden in a quiet, beautiful town, and took a helicopter every day to training. And he was accused of breaking noise pollution laws and violating flight path rules while in Stuttgart. Man, Jens Lehmann's lost it. Yeah, that's a good one.
I remember him against Chelsea. Him and Drogba had like a scrap that bumped each other's chests. And Lehmann went down diving. Yeah,
I wouldn't fight Jens Lehmann. To be fair,
I would. When he was playing though in England, I don't remember too much drama.
No, I think a lot of this seemed to happen when he was back at Stuttgart or in Germany. I don't know if he calmed down in England or not. I don't think it's the right way to say it.
Yeah,
he was known for having a temper as well. He obviously got sent off in the Champions League final as well.
True.
Against Barcelona.
Maybe he felt a bit more comfortable in his home country to do these.
Maybe things. But
I think your next example was probably the OG.
This is the one. I saved it for second. I have to admit,
sorry, don't give you a clue, but I remember when I was a kid, I was scared of him. If I saw him on TV, I was scared.
Man, I think you weren't the only one.
Yeah.
I think his whole teammates.
Who is it?
Oliver Kahn. He's the original madman. He's the original insane. Now, to be fair, Jens Lehmann, by the way, outstanding goalkeeper. Yeah, if it wasn't for Oliver Kahn playing at the same time, he probably would have been Germany's number 1.
Yeah, he still plays 60 odd games.
Yeah, which is impressive.
Retired and then it's mostly after like mid 2000s.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. I suppose Kahn was still knocking up until mid 2000s. Kahn was an undeniably superb goalkeeper, one of the greats of the game.
Better than Neuer?
Very close and also similarly mad. No, I think actually Kahn. Neuer's got a bit of catching up if he's going to be as crazy as Oliver Kahn is. But you never know.
Neuer's the better goalkeeper.
Different generations. Yeah. You know, Neuer plays football, I suppose, while generations ago.
Do you have Neuer as an example as well?
I didn't put too much in about Neuer.
I had some things at the end. Yeah. I can remember,
So, anyway, Kahn, he did once, and this is one of my favourites, he got caught speeding 3 times in one day in 2 different countries. He crossed the border, I think it was into Holland, and then got caught speeding again 3 times in one day in 2 different countries. He missed his own side's title celebrations because he was listening to his Walkman that was back with Bayern Munich.
Okay.
This one's a little bit more controversial. So again, I don't want to say this is funny crazy, but it is one of the big things I have to mention, especially if people are German here. He cheated on his wife for a 21-year-old barmaid when his wife was very pregnant. He was about 8 months pregnant, and he left her for a 21-year-old barmaid. And it was a huge scandal in Germany. Massive political scandal. It was all over all the papers. So it is worth... this one here, man, May 2003, tries to punch the ball into the net. So he goes up for a corner for Bayern Munich. Last minute, throw the goalkeeper up, go for it. And he does like a hand to God, essentially. Much more blatant. But he just gets a red card and the goal gets disallowed.
Did he have a score?
I don't think so. The video of him punching the ball in the net is unbelievable because he just blatantly punches it, starts celebrating, and they go, obviously not, you're getting a red card, the goal is disallowed. You can't just punch the ball into the net. After that, he did admit in an interview with a German TV show that something is not right with me.
Okay.
Then, probably our favourite story, we talked about this the other night as well in the pub. Bild, who I don't promote in this podcast at all. Bild, by the way, the German newspaper, is trash.
Is it like the Sun?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't promote Bild at all. But they did break this news, and it was later confirmed he went to a charity thing with a load of kids from German Children's Hospital. Yeah. So yeah, there were 9-10. It was in Munich. And they went down, and all the kids took penalties against Kahn, and every penalty that got scored, £10,000 or €10,000 was donated to charity, and he saved every single one of them. And he just admitted afterwards, I can't lose. So he saved every single one of them.
Wow, okay.
What else? Oh, that's pretty much most of the stuff I've got on Kahn, to be fair. Yeah, I'm sure there's a few more up there.
That's some very, very good stuff. Yeah, I mean, my main thing for Kahn...
Apart from being terrifying as well.
Yeah, he was terrifying. Like screaming.
He screamed at players. He screamed at them. Was not shy of getting in a fight either.
There must be a YouTube video called Oliver Kahn Angry Compilation or something like that.
Oh man, that's what I'm doing tonight anyway. So the last few goalkeepers have got just a couple of small bits to mention for each one. They're not as big. Obviously Lehmann and Kahn are the big ones.
Yeah.
Hans-Jörg Butt, I wouldn't say crazy to be fair.
But I mean, if you score
not
goals,
totally there. Yeah. 32 goals he scored.
That's a good record.
In 429 appearances. Now, the one I'm putting in here is because Hans-Jörg Butt did play for Leverkusen. He went on to Bayern Munich just after Kahn left, actually, I think was when he went to Bayern. He was very loved at Leverkusen. He was knocking about in the 2002 team. Mm-hmm. But in 2004, he scored a penalty as he took the penalties. He scored a penalty for Leverkusen against Schalke. The video's online. It's so funny.
It's really good.
He spends so long celebrating that Schalke scored,
giving everyone high fives.
And man, so he's off. All his team are in their own half. Schalke kick off, and he's still celebrating. And then he realizes that it's kicked off, and by that point it's too late. So he's still high fiving half the lads, and they're like, get the fuck back into the net, and the ball goes straight in. And that was typical Hans-Jörg Butt.
Yes.
Never even thought about it. Funny story, just to mention, Sepp Maier. Actually a really good goalkeeper, played number 1 for Germany for a long time, but he's Munich's keeper in the 1980s. Once, there's a video of this as well, a duck got on the pitch and he tried to catch it by diving theatrically after it and missed.
Okay, nice.
And hit the deck.
At least he tried.
And then Harald Schumacher, I will mention as well. I think he played for Cologne too.
Okay.
I'd say Harald Schumacher. But great hair, first of all.
Okay,
great big afro on him. 1982 World Cup. In match against France. He goes out to collect the ball, clatters into Patrick Battiston and sends him straight into a coma on the pitch. Hit him that hard, and when you watch it, there's a bit of venom in it. Like,
wow,
he's kind of going for the ball, he's not really.
At the World Cup,
straight, 1982, he puts him straight into a coma. It is rough, to be fair. You can see the video of it. It is wild. That was for West Germany at the time.
Was he okay in the end?
I think Battiston was. He lost a couple of teeth from what I remember. But
a French newspaper poll asked which was the least popular man in France.
Yes,
Schumacher beat someone else to second place.
Yeah, well, you can think of unpopular Germans in France who invaded half the country. And this was our AH. We can leave you at that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And the last one I have, because he's one of my favourites. Now, again, we're going to have to talk about politics here. We don't support his political views.
I think there's this thing with these goalkeepers. Also, so many controversial things.
They tend to go a bit right-wingy as well.
Yeah.
And, so Tim Wiese, is he a half-day supporter, was he?
He did not know. He was involved in some, like, far-right... He got photos with a guy who's, I think, a Werder Bremen fan, who's also a leader of a far-right group.
Okay.
He came out tonight and said he didn't know this.
Okay, so there was just... Yeah.
I think
there's a controversy around him with that.
Yeah.
The AfD, for anyone who don't know, is the what's the alternative for Deutschland? It's the far right political party here.
We don't really have far right parties in the UK.
Not extreme
well,
right.
the Tories are on the way there.
But we're talking like the
God,
old
this
BNP.
episode is golden for getting cancelled.
We're not going to get cancelled.
Just don't. If you don't like our politics, then.
By the way, what do we think of Joey Barton? No, we're not. I'd love. I'm doing an episode on Joey Barton at some point. By the way, what's he going to do? Come after me?
I mean, I don't want to give him the time of day.
To be fair, he's a rat. Anyway, Tim Wiese. So it's not too bad. Not saying too bad, but the political scandal's not proven, so we don't. We're not going to comment too much on that. But he did have a couple of good moments. So Tim Wiese played for Werder Bremen. Really good goalkeeper, to be fair. Really solid keeper. Sort of 90s, 2000s knocking about. Quite recent. He had a bit of a habit of kicking people in the head.
True, he did.
Now that's happened a few times where he's went out to get the ball.
Maybe that kind of makes sense for what his future career was.
Well, exactly. So I said here, the kicks that he did that I've seen, almost martial art like, because he genuinely, like, there's going out to collect the ball against a striker and then there's just kicking them in the head.
Yep.
So he jumps up to the level where his feet are at the striker's head and just kicks them. That happened at least twice, where I think it's deliberate. Sorry, Tim, if you're watching, you know what you did. So he did that, and then after that, his career took a bit of a turn, and he actually ended up becoming a professional wrestler. And he did wrestle in the WWE in one match.
Crazy.
In a 6-person tag where he was with Sheamus and Cesaro against Bo Dallas, Epico, and Primo.
There you are. You've seen the video?
I saw a bit of it, yeah. It looks alright, to be fair. He did a bit of amateur wrestling in Germany as well. Does it professional wrestling, but
he was
unpaid.
Huge, wasn't he?
He got to be a big boy. And then a few times I've been watching German TV shows to learn the language, and Tim Wiese's on every German TV show going, man. You name it, Tim Wiese's done it. If he can get any kind of...
He played for Fortuna Cologne as well.
He did, yeah.
He's from Bergische Gladbach.
Oh, is he from Gladbach as well?
No, Bergische Gladbach.
Yeah, but Bergische Gladbach, sorry, yeah. Who else was from Bergische Gladbach?
He was in youth club at Leverkusen. 10 years ago.
He was, yeah.
Interesting.
But he never played for Leverkusen.
No. So he was
he's a bit of a mad one.
Kaiserslautern, Bremen, Hoffenheim. He came out of retirement in 2017.
Oh, seriously?
Played a game.
For SSV Dinningen? I don't know where that is.
In the 8th tier.
In the Kreisliga Schwaben Nord. Oh my god.
Okay, there we go.
That suits Tim Wiese down to the ground to go to the Kreisliga.
I haven't got a Wikipedia page, but yeah.
There you are.
A character.
So that's the ones I've got. Do you have anything to say about Manuel Neuer?
I mean, Neuer's things are mostly on the pitch. I mean, apart from the fact he broke his leg skiing. And then kind of nearly derailed their title.
See, when it comes to like Neuer breaking his leg skiing, because I've been living in Germany so long, I'm surrounded by German football so long, I didn't blink at it. It didn't seem weird to me because that is just what you expect a German goalkeeper to do. Yeah. I think a lot of people in Germany are just like, that is typical. Anywhere else, you're like, man, like come on. Yeah. You shouldn't be going skiing. Okay, you should be just taking a break. Yeah. And he probably broke it bad. Yeah. Should have signed your man Jan Sommer to replace him for a while, didn't he?
True, yeah.
And that ruined his career as well.
Yeah, he was just obviously, I mean, he's still playing now, but I mean, taking a penalty in the Champions League final, scoring it but losing, of course.
True.
And then like coming out of goal, there's that famous one where he diving header and then Stankovic for Inter Milan volleys it in from halfway line.
Great, man.
Like
great.
Just unbelievable footballer.
Great player, but again, it just goes to prove
I don't see many other. I can't remember a time an English goalkeeper dived out and headed it.
And you couldn't get away with it. And I think this whole thing of the German goalkeepers became such a trope in Germany. They have, like, the German people kind of love it.
They're unique.
Like they want to do it. They want to play up to it.
It's like their camera saves.
Yeah. It's going mad. Yeah. Like at least at Leverkusen, I'm quite thankful this year as a goalkeeper we haven't got a German goalkeeper because that would be the liability that we need to reel our title hopes. Lucas Radetzky is a nice, good, level-headed Finnish man. Yes. If we had a German in there, God only knows what would have happened. So, yeah, that's it. I've got no one else to mention.
No, but
there is more.
I'm sure there's more. Like
if you think of a German goalkeeper, you can go look them up, and they've done something insane, which I think is a reflection not only of goalkeepers but of Germany in general. So
we do love the country.
We do. Oh, here, man.
We do.
The romance of it, the stories.
The stories. That's a lot. Oi! Cut.
That happened in the last episode as well, for fuck's sake. We're still recording.
We can cut that somewhere. Or we can leave that in as a blooper.
No, we'll leave that in.
It was towards the end, so it's okay.
I'm really sorry to the audio listeners on that one because they can see the spike in the levels here. Oh, man.
I think I shit myself as well. But we're back.
Yeah, we are back.
With a literal bang.
Well, that's nice.
All right.
We get out of here. We'll record a couple more podcasts.
Yes.
Couple more episodes now.
But yeah, good to be back.
Oh yeah, and don't forget, obviously, hit us up on the socials.
Yep.
Get in touch with us.
We're
Let
getting
us know
close to 1,000 followers on Instagram.
I have to do something special for that.
Yeah.
That is wild. 1,000 followers. I'm insane about.
And then I just have 800 on TikTok.
Have we mentioned on this podcast about getting recognised? Did we do that on the Platini podcast? Or did we mention it here on our own?
I think you mentioned it here.
Did we? Because it happened twice. We've been recognised twice. I was recognised twice, but the second time I was recognised, you weren't there, but they recognised who you were.
True, at Leverkusen, yeah.
So people are
stopping
us in the streets.
Famous.
Yeah.
And
so any of the
with your
Leverkusen fans
help,
listening,
you can make us more famous.
Yeah. So like it, share it as well. Tell your mates about it. Do all that stuff. The more you guys get involved in it, the more episodes we can make.
Tell your colleagues. Tell your boss.
Tell your favourite German, and that's it. So we're going to make another episode. Anything else to say?
No.
Right. Well, thank you very much, guys. And yeah, auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss.